Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of DevOps with Zack. I am thrilled to introduce our fantastic guest today who is making a significant impact in the tech community right here in New Zealand. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Suzana. Hi Suzana, welcome to another episode with DevOps with Zack. So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
With my pleasure, Suzana. So, can you start by introducing yourself and sharing your journey into the tech industry and what inspired you to pursue a career in tech?
Well, this is a very interesting history. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's move a little bit back. I moved to New Zealand in 2014 with no English, which I don't recommend you to anyone to do that. Please don't do it. And yeah, but I also have a bachelor degree in communications with over 20 years of experience in radio, TV. I was an editor chief in the biggest newspaper in my hometown, media director of police in my hometown, so you name it. And
Sounds
I
like
tried to
nice,
go
yeah.
back. Yeah. So first challenge, I thought that it would be very easy to learn English and then move back into my previous career. No, it wasn't. Learning English, it was very hard. I mean, a totally different language. There is no relation with Portuguese. The grammar is different. So it was quite challenging to learn English, like in my 40s. And after that, when I was a little bit more confident that I was able to communicate myself with others, I offer myself for free for all the media channels you can imagine. And I send a beautiful letter, offer myself as a volunteer or internship or wherever they can would take me just to have the Kiwi experience. No one ever replied to me. So then my husband is also software developer and look at me and say, why don't you try programming? And I look at him and say, okay, no way. I don't do those things. Programming, software development, it's for smart people. So I cannot do it. And he looked and said, why don't you give a try? And then I tried some tutorials and then the magic happened. So when I started to build things and the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then functions and all those kinds of things and create my first, hello world, I fell in love with programming and said, okay, this is what I want to do. So I did a boot camp, got a new graduation, and then I'm a software developer.
That sounds interesting. I also face the same issue, but my high studies I studied in English, but I'm coming from Sri Lanka originally, so I know two languages, which is Sinhalese and Tamil, and English is the third language. So I also had this, I would say, difficulties, sometimes challenges. So I totally understand what you're talking about exactly. And the best part, I have a couple of friends who are coming from different backgrounds. For example, physics, chemistry. Now they are doing great in software engineering, DevOps, all these technological stuff. That's really great, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because technology is not about only code. It's in the end of the day, we all are humans. You work in a team, you sort problems, you need to communicate with others, and you need to communicate well with the machine. Essentially, you are writing and giving commands. So you need logic, you need curiosity to keep learning, you need to talk about coding with your peers. So it's all about soft skills. The
I,
technical skill you will learn, but what will make you a successful professional, it's really your soft skills.
I totally agree. You should not stop learning. Keep learning, right? Yeah. My next question will be, what advice do you have for women who are just starting their careers in tech, especially those who may feel intimidated or discouraged by the gender gap?
Yeah, I totally understand your question. It is intimidating a lot. Myself, I questioned myself many times and I told my husband and I said, no, I cannot do it. This is for smart people. And I'm a communications bachelor. I'm a journalist. I'm a manager of media department. I cannot do programming. And in fact, you can do. Well, we I'm not gonna lie. This is it's hard. Thankfully, the world is changing, and we are seeing now more and more women moving to technology field, but it's still hard. Men are still the majority, and but if you don't do it, the things will not change. So more women coming to tech, it's more for the future. It's more changing for the future, and it's gonna be better for the future women that also are going to move inspired by you. So I have no tech background and I could learn programming. So you can do it too. As I mentioned, technology is not only about programming. All, all the transferable skills, everything that you bring from your management skills, customer service skills, any other skills, they are so relevant. In the end of the day, they count so much and they may make you a so more rich professional. And also the technology areas actually is not only about coding and programming. There is many other areas that also are also in tech, and you don't need to
Yeah.
code, like even in cloud or product management. So there is space for everyone. So I think the most important thing is find a good course or a good institution that give you support in your learning journey, and surround yourself with people that can support this transition, can people that inspire you, people that like will give you motivation and encourage you with this journey. So I think this is most important to help this intimidating migration. It is really hard, it is intimidating, but if you are with a good structure, a good course, and people that are supporting you, it's going to be very, very lighter.
Networking is very crucial, right?
Yeah.
Networking can be crucial in any career. So, what strategies or tips do you have for women in tech to build strong professional network?
Yes, I mean it's interesting because when I graduated from Dev Academy, I knew no one here in technology field. Like I knew no one in New Zealand at the beginning, but it was worse when we were talking about technology. And I actually wrote an article about this challenge of the start everything. You will start everything. You will start a new career. You will start your networking. You will start the contacts that you are going to create. So, and I gave some tips that helped me a lot in this transition. So since like tips about your knowledge, how you feel confident, like build your foundations, or and remember that no one knows everything, so be comfortable with that. But I talked about like find your genius zone. And when I say genius zone, I'm not saying only about how you can stand out of the crowd and show what you're doing. So you can feel comfortable, like I don't know, explain this to another person, or
Hmm.
um or maybe talking on meetups, or talk writing articles. So what you feel comfortable, so you will find your genius zone in the area that you are studying, and what you are studying that makes you feel more comfortable, what you feel you can explain to another person. And this is a very good mindset to keep while you are learning. Always there is a person that knows less than you and needs your insights. So if you are keen to explain something to another person, if you feel comfortable with that, you can explain that in an article, you can explain that in a meetup in front of the others, you can build a project about it, and then you can show that. And this is the beginning of the network, because of course you did something you want to show. If you don't have a network, how are you going to show? So there is no way to create a network inside your home, inside your bedroom. You need to go out.
I
You
agree
need
with
to
you.
go to online
Yeah,
events and connect with people, and then meet people in those online events and send your invitation then to connect on LinkedIn. You go to meetups. Maybe you are not comfortable to go there, take the microphone and then talk in front of others. But you can meet people there and tell about your projects, tell about your article, tell about your ideas, tell about what you're doing. I mentor people. And then you will start to create a network. So you can also, for example, looking for a woman in the company that you are dreaming, your dreaming company, like I would love to work in AWS. Looking for a woman that you work in AWS, and then send I invite to them to connect and tell them, oh, I would love to work in AWS one day, and I would love to connect with you. I'm so happy that you work there. Can I connect with you? I never got rejected, never. And even if you one person rejected, do not accept the invitation. Like a 5, 10 will accept your invitation, and slowly we will grow in your network. And then when you post the things that you are doing, there are people that you can see that. And when the time comes, maybe there is a position in this company, and they say, "Oh, I'm always connected with that lady, and she posting a lot of things. She write that, or she builds something, or she help others." So I think we need to talk with her, and this way that you started to create a network
definitely.
and maybe
Yeah.
find your first job in your new area.
Yes. I mean, you should speak up. Like the first step matters, right? It's always the first step. You cannot achieve anything like if you're silent. You have to just. There are so many resources. Definitely, we should talk about that later. And and one more thing, I'm happy to see, right, when you talk about AWS Suzana, like everyone knows in New Zealand and out of the New Zealand as well through the Community Builder program, right?
Yes.
I mean, there are 19 community builders in New Zealand region, but there are only two women community builders in New Zealand region, and it's one of you. So that's there are so many programs that we can go and reach. Yeah. And you're talking about mentorship. So mentorship is really, really important in the career path. So have you had any mentor who made a significant impact on your career? And how can a woman find and approach potential mentors?
Yeah. Luckily, as I mentioned, things are changing. So currently, it's possible to find even mentorship organizations for women. But more than that, I mean, as I mentioned as well, you need to speak up. People don't read minds. So when I started studying, since I was studying, and then I started to build my first projects in the boot camp, I started to go to meetups and show what I was doing, talking about, oh, I'm building blah, I'm building C, I'm building whatever. Or I was building. I was building actually a library. Actually, I was rebuilding in React a calculator that I learned how to build in JavaScript. And I was trying to learn hooks by myself. And then I was using a library that was just being recently released, and no one was using that. And then I tried to learn this, and then I started to show that to everyone and ask for feedback and ask for mentoring. I tried to write an article, and then I posted to everyone my idea and say, I need someone to help because I'm not confident with my English. And then 5, 10 people are very happy, showing themselves very happy to review my article. So it was fantastic. If you ask, you find. And people, especially like even in the courses that you are studying, for example. So there are AWS has a mentoring program. If you are studying cloud, for example, there is Tech Woman New Zealand, or is I think the name is New Zealand, NZ Tech Woman in non-binary. So they have a very supportive Slack channel as well. So you can go there, and if you ask for mentoring, many people will raise their hands and then say, "I can help you." So look the where in your community or in your city where you can find those. You can find those in where you are studying. You can find those where you are uh, networking, the woman networking in your city, and ask for mentoring. Or even in your work or meetups as well. It's a good place. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, but I did myself the AWS Cloud app for Hāpori Wāhine, which is specifically for women in New Zealand, and there is a huge structure and mentorship for you as well if you want to keep it going. There is a, as I mentioned, AWS has a program that offer mentorship in different areas. So there is many ways that you can look for, and I'm always happy to anyone that are want any guidance as well. My LinkedIn is
Yeah,
open. I'm very happy to connect and guide you. If it's
yeah,
not my area, I can find a place for you.
definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. That would be nice. Yeah, I mean that's real nice because even personally, I believe mentoring is always the best part, and I'm happy to say that my previous workplace, I still remember her name. Her name is Swati. She used to be my mentor. I still have connection with her. I never seen someone such a I would say a AWS nerd. You ask anything from her like related to AWS, she knows. If she doesn't know,
Wow.
she finds it and she tells me like, I'm really grateful for that. Like, if you're listening this, Swati, I'm really happy that I work with you. And my current place, my engineering team lead also she. So I'm really happy that I'm working under her as well. So I'm see right. My mentors are always been like women, and I mean it's any gender, but since we are talking about this topic, I would like to highlight that. So I'm really grateful for that. So the $1 million question is like everyone might be concerned about, are you a women, and how you manage the work life balance, and how you manage your home and your work. So is there difficulties, right? How do you manage the work life balance, and do you have any tips for maintaining your well-being?
Yes, yes. It's also hard. I mean, I have my work time, of course, as any other, and I have a fantastic relationship. Like we share everything at home, like a cooking, cleaning, which makes the life easy. But it's too hard. Like a woman, woman, they have this mindset that you must be perfect, you must take care of everything, and we needed to fight so hard to re-educate ourselves that we don't need to be perfect. It's curious if when men are going to apply for a job, they have a look on that, and they there is the bullet points, and they say, oh, I matched this one, it's this one, I think I can apply for this job. And even if they match half of the job requirements, but woman, they get a job requirement and they only going to apply if they tick all the boxes. So it's something that we need to fight so hard against, and tell to woman, apply for the job, even if you don't match all the boxes, because if you match all, you are overqualified. So I do yoga every morning. I try to do my walking at least 1 hour when I can, but more than that, I try to surround myself with people who support and inspire me. So I think this is the most thing that you can do, especially when changing careers, and then you are not alone. There is All the women that already did that, and try to surround yourself with people that inspire you, people that you want to be, and those people will give you the strength that you need to keep it going, because many times it will be so hard. It's a new content, it's a new life, it's a new journey, and we need support. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, practice exercise, drink your water. This is
That's
very
most important thing.
important.
Yes, yes.
And one thing that I said in my article that I always says is, look to yourself yesterday, not to other person today. Each person has your time learning, your speed, your own speed, your own way to learn things. So be kind with yourself. If you look to yourself yesterday, you will see how much you grow, how much you learn it, and then be proud of yourself, because you deserve that appreciation. So I think this is the most important thing you can do for your mental health.
Yep, I agree. Mental health is one of the most important thing. Even like you mentioned, I do the same. And to be honest with you, I love the New Zealand culture, especially at my workplace. It's so flexible and feel the freedom. And yes, mental health is number one priority, I would say. And yeah, the next one will be, this is like, the opportunities and trends, right, in the tech industry. So what are some of the most exciting opportunities and trends you see in the tech industry for women, and how can they position themselves to take advantage of these opportunities?
Yes, yes. There is opportunities that it's coming more, and it makes me very, very happy. So there are still many areas and many countries where men are majority in the technology field, but this is changing. So, and we need to take advantage of that. We still need, because the gap is too big. So, but there are more companies committed and fighting against the gender gap, which is fantastic, and
Yep.
more programs focus on women. Oh, for example, there is a Hire Her. It's not created so long time ago, and they work. It's an organization that works to prioritize a woman in the recruitment process. So they are talking with companies, and those companies first advertise the job with them, and they advertise the job, and they connect them with a woman, and to prioritize the woman in the recruitment process, which is a fantastic idea. So cloud app, oh my gosh, I never gonna stop to talk about cloud app. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, I was working in a startup, and then I needed to start to write lambdas and save things in DynamoDB, and I had no idea. And then, oh, you needed to connect and write this lambda and this API gateway, and they say, oh my god, what is that? And then I found Cloud Up. It was fantastic because this is a program that is created for women to women. So women that understand the struggles that you have to study, having kids, having housework to do, having your job to do. So it's self-paced, and there is ways that you can learn in your own pace. There is resources for you. There is like a channel, it's always there. You can have someone giving you explanations or helping you anytime you need in your time, because we know we have so many things to do. And this is fantastic because it's planned for women that understand what women are experiencing, the challenges that they have. So it makes the things like even more supportive for you, because they understand you. You feel like, you feel like, oh my gosh, give me a hug. It's something that.
Yeah.
So, and there is even more like if you type in the LinkedIn woman, you will start to find even the search. You will start to find many organizations that you will start to pop up, especially like usually they pop up for locations, or you can find organizations related to women in your own city, in your own country. So this is very important to look for those organizations, and yes, take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, totally agree with that. And there are so many opportunities out there. I agree with you. We're talking about this cloud up, and if you are going into AWS side, yeah, AWS Community Builder program, Hero, there are so many opportunities. And definitely we should mention about the our meetups, right? User groups we have in Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, and there's a new one coming up, and it's already established as well.
Yes, this is fantastic, and it's such like a inclusive. And myself, I organized the AWS tools and programming. And it was beautiful because I was invited to talk in the AWS community meetup for breaking the bias, and there I met Getkika and Ali, and then we there is audience enough in Auckland to focus on only the tools and the programming. And the plan was actually also have a space for women that has no tech background and or women in technology that they want to have an inclusive space and feel themselves represented in a meetup group about cloud, and also the same feeling to provide the same feeling for juniors and graduated, and then they can have a space when they can come and learn. So we try to bring different levels of seniority in our talks. We have levels for entry levels talks, we have like a senior talks, we have intermediate talks, so then we can bring a content for all levels and make everyone feel comfortable to come. And I'm there, I'm the organizer, and I love to receive a woman there and help them to feel comfortable and in a safe place. So this is most important for us, provide a safe place for everyone in our meetup.
That's amazing. And if you're listening to this, and if you're from Wellington or Auckland or Christchurch or maybe out of New Zealand, it doesn't matter. Reach to Suzana. Definitely, she will help you with having a session on their meetup or anything related to that. And my last question. Lastly, can you recommend any books, a website, or meetups, organizations that women in tech can turn for an additional support and inspiration?
Yes, yes, yes. And actually, we mentioned a little bit in the last question.
Yeah.
So there is a global one called Tech Woman. So I follow them on LinkedIn, and they are very, very supportive. They provide event and free courses worldwide. And here in New Zealand, we have the Woman in Technology, which is also a mentoring website. I mentioned hire her if you are looking for a job, and then I strongly recommend you to follow this organization and contact the organization team. They are fantastic. All of them. She Sharp is also a fantastic organization, and they promote monthly workshops especially for women, bring like lots of different things from mental health, stress, to all the areas. I went there to have like a kind of product workshop. It was so fantastic, and then you think, oh, I'm a developer, and but it was fantastic for me as well. NZ Tech Woman, no, in the non-binary, they have a meetup group, and they use it to do events with lighting talks, with the small talks of a woman's successful stories that help you to be very encouraged, motivated. They also have a very supportive Slack channel group. So if you if you are not that, so please contact me. I can help you to join. And finally, if you are interested in cloud, so please contact me. I'm so happy to send you the link to you to join the next cloud app. You will have all the information you need to have an understanding about the cloud foundations, resources, and then you can find like a future in the cloud. Like you don't like there is so many opportunities: cloud developer, cloud engineer, cloud architect, or even go to the product management area. But having this cloud knowledge upskilling your career, so it's a fantastic experience as well. So if you don't know any other, or you cannot find any of these organizations, and then you want to join some of them or follow of them, you cannot find. So please just hit me up, and then I can help you to find the correct places and the links.
Thank you, Suzana. I really enjoyed the session today. I'm not just saying it to flatter you, but it was one of the best sessions I've recorded in my entire podcast, I would say. I really, really enjoyed having you here today. And I think I hope to have you in for more couple of other sessions as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. And it's as I mentioned, like my LinkedIn is always open. So please connect with me and send a message like, oh, I hear you, and Zach's podcast, and then I want to connect with you. It will be my pleasure.
Yes, yes, please. And thank you so much again. And I hope to see you soon with another podcast or another session, maybe another meetup. So have a good evening, Suzana.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to connect with Suzana, you can find her on LinkedIn. For more details, please check out the podcast description. We'll be back soon with another exciting episode of DevOps with Zack. Stay tuned.